As a part-time podcaster, you may be wondering how to set up your podcasting environment in a way that it doesn't cost a lot of money. You're probably doing this as a side thing. You aren't really sure whether it's going to work out. You don't really know whether it's going to make any money. So why invest so much in setting up something perfect when you aren't even sure what's going to happen? So today we're going to talk about the things that you need to set up your recording studio, let's say, and how to do it for free, actually. So you need 5 things to actually have a full-fledged recording setup. And those 5 things are a microphone, headphones, camera, lighting, and a mount or a way to put all of these things together. So let's take these up one by one. So the first thing is a microphone. Now you can see in front of me, I have one. This obviously costs some money, but you don't actually need to have one like this. What you can do is a couple of things. One is, if you are doing an audio-only podcast, then life is quite simple, actually. All you need to do is get your wired headphones, some cheap wired headphones or the Apple wired headphones or something that you just have lying around, and use that to do your recording. You can do that by just plugging in your headphones and then holding up the mic somewhere near your mouth so the voice is clear and it doesn't take in a lot of background noise. And that, of course, is a cheap way of doing this. It's possible because you're not on video, and so therefore nobody's going to see that you're using something like that. If you're doing video, it makes it a little bit more difficult, but what you could do is the same wired headphones, you can use them, just maybe don't have the wire dangling like this. Try to put it through your t-shirt or something like that, so it's a little bit neater, but there's no harm using those wired headphones. What you should not use are Bluetooth headphones like Apple AirPods, for example. They're great for calls, they're great for listening to music, they're great for going on a run, not so great for recording. Because Bluetooth actually compresses the audio so that it can maintain a clear connection. And so when you do the recording, it may sound okay, but later when you edit it and you try to process it for actually uploading as a podcast, you'll find it sounds a little robotic, a little tinny, and it's not really very nice sound. The second thing are headphones. Now, of course, if you're using your wired headphone mic combination, then you're done. You already have those headphones. If you want to make it look a little bit podcasty, then maybe you can use any kind of those over-ear kind of headphones. It doesn't really matter too much what you use, because all you're really trying to get is the voice, which is your voice and the voices of your guests whom you may be interviewing. So therefore, you don't really need anything particularly fancy here anyway. If you have something at home which you're using, just use those and you'll be fine to begin with. Now we come to the camera. If you look at YouTuber videos and stuff, they will recommend Sony cameras, SLRs, things like that, all of which will give you a fantastic look. In particular, it will give you this ability to get yourself very sharply framed while the background is blurred in that nice professional sort of way. That looks beautiful. Those cameras do cost a lot of money. So unless you have one already, I don't think there's any point in investing in those. Instead, just use your phone camera. Not the selfie camera, but the main camera which is at the back, and which is actually what I'm doing. I'm using my iPhone camera to record this whole thing, and as you can see, it looks quite good. And as time goes on, if you feel like it's not really cutting it, then maybe upgrade your camera. If you don't have a good phone camera, perhaps the next best thing that you could do is to use your webcam if you have one. Most webcams nowadays record in at least 720p, which is not ideal, it's not HD, but it will at least give you a reasonably clear view. The worst thing that you could do is to use your laptop camera, which is definitely not made for recording or anything worthwhile. So if you have no other option, use it, but it will look unprofessional. I think nowadays people expect better than that. And so I would say just use it if you have no other choice at all. If you're going to use your laptop camera, or for that matter, your phone camera or something, just make sure you put it at eye level, like what I have right now, where I'm looking at it directly versus looking down into something, because again, that makes it just look better. You also look better sitting upright versus slouching into a laptop camera or something like that. This is an overlooked point. People don't normally mention it, but it's the mounts, which is where are you putting all of these things? So you need to put your laptop or your camera at eye level. So you have to have something where you can place it. If you don't have a tripod, which would be ideal, then just find a way to put it on a table, raise it with books, prop it up. It's worth the effort of doing it because it just looks so much more professional. And finally, we come to the most difficult of all to execute for free, and that is lighting. To make a video look good, you need to be well lit and a little differentiated from your background. Kind of like what I'm trying to do here. Honestly, this is not ideal either. There are many YouTubers who have very beautiful setups. But anyway, we've done what we can. So I've actually got artificial lighting. I've got 2 lights on the 2 sides and it's making me well illuminated and it is keeping me a little separated from the background. As you can see, like I stand out quite clearly. It's very hard to do this without actually buying lights like this. And lights, frankly, don't necessarily have to cost a lot. I think for $30, $40, you can probably get soft lighting, which is the main thing that you need, which is soft lighting. And the way to do that for free is to record in the daytime near a window and have the window covered by some sort of a translucent white cloth, which will soften the sunlight. You don't want harsh light with shadows and stuff. You want it filtered through some sort of a white cloth so that it comes in a nice, pleasing, diffuse sort of form, kind of like what I've got going on over here. So if you can manage that, then you actually will have a very good look. The problem you might face is that there is noise from the street or something. But look, if you're in a quiet neighborhood, you have a nice window, great lighting, totally use that. If you aren't able to do that, then you may have to resort to using artificial lights. If you're using artificial lights, don't use ring lights. They aren't actually designed for recordings like this. They're designed more for makeup videos or things where you want that little ring going on. It kind of looks nice for that kind of purpose, but it's not a good, strong, uniform light that you can actually use for a quality recording. So get some cheap lights with a diffuser of some kind so you look nice. So just to recap, there are 5 things: microphone, headphones, camera, lighting, and mounts, just to put all these together. Now, a good show is actually not made by expensive or quality equipment. A good show is made with good content designed for an interested audience. So don't worry if your recording setup doesn't look perfect. Worry more about the quality and consistency of your content. And if what you're saying is fantastic, it doesn't matter what camera you're recording it on. So this is Amit with the Part-Time Podcaster. I'll see you next time.